Hello everyone! Today we'll be taking a look again at the 8-bit Do Pro 2. I have already reviewed this controller here in the channel, but this time it is upgraded with Hall Effect sticks. Nothing has changed in the controller externally, apart from a new color, the transparent blue. Here we have membrane buttons with the same quality as before. The resistance is the exact same of the Super Nintendo controller, and the buttons won't sink flat with the shell. The analog stick is entirely made of plastic, and there is no anti-friction rings. And we have a membrane D-pad too. The shutter buttons feels exactly like the ones on the Super Nintendo. And we have analog triggers too. The back buttons are in a good location, and they're not hard to press at all. Also, they are almost flush with the shell. Here we have a switch to change modes. It is compatible with the Switch, iOS, Android and Windows. And it comes with a rechargeable battery that is removable, and you can insert AA batteries here as well. Since I already did a teardown on this controller, I won't do it again this time. And since it's transparent, we can already see the Hall Effect sticks inside. These are Hall Effect stick modules from K-Silver. And we can take the final proof by approaching a magnet to the sticks. This controller is the best option for those who like the symmetric layout. It works great and it has gyro sensors too. There's no easy way to map the back buttons, and they're not mapped to anything out of the box. But you can use the 8-bit Do software on your smartphone and change the settings there. You can do this anytime while playing. Also, through the app, you can configure dead zones, invert the sticks, set the dead zones for the triggers, change vibration, and even add macros. There's just one thing I don't like in this controller, and that is the D-pad. In the original Super Nintendo controller, the shell has some extra space for the D-pad to move around. The D-pad almost never touches the plastic around it. But on the Pro 2, there's less space for the D-pad to move, and because of that, the D-pad rubs against the shell. And because of this tiny detail, the D-pad don't feel as good as the original controller. It could become better over time, but you can already see some white dust from the friction here. With that said, the D-pad still functions very well. It's not something that makes it unusable. The diagonals are pretty consistent, there is a pivot in the center, and the resistance is the same as the original controller. On the analog sticks, the circularity is not perfect, but that's about the same result you would get from an original controller anyway, so I think it's a pass. And on the latency result is where this controller shows its age. It's even a bit slower than the original version without Hall Effect sticks. On my final thoughts, this is still a good controller. The Super Nintendo layout makes it perfect for playing retro games. And it's one of, if not the best option for symmetric analog sticks. Another great point about it is that it uses standard Super Nintendo membranes. If the membranes break, you can easily buy replacements. And that's it for today's quick video. Do you have a Pro 2 controller? How's the durability of it so far? Leave your opinions in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.